acrylic paintings or oil paintings, you want the surface of things to be kind of the same level. Otherwise it will look a little odd. I'm going to add some purple just to get some brightness coming up. Once again, I'm not exact. Okay, so this color I mix nice and fresh and clean, and you can kind of see it's super clean. You always want to start with clean paint if you can, because it really is bright. I use nice bright colors. I'm just a bright person. That's sort of my MO. Okay, so now I added a whole bunch of the color. Now I got to add some background. Remember, we just talked about keeping the same level. I'm going to add some background, and I'm actually going to blend these together by moving it around. Move it around. Be very careful to move it up and down. Normally I don't like to move it too much, because while the painting pours are absolutely stunning, beautiful, auspicious, and gorgeous, and all that good stuff, I still like my clean paint. I've been one of those kind of people who always enjoys a little bit of clean paint. See that blue? I really like that blue, that nice bright blue, magnesium blue. Make sure my surface is nice and level. Always wondering, okay, now I'm going to go back, having nice level surface. I'm adding more of the blues because I got to fill in all of that. Now, in order to get those bright colors to pop, besides the white, I want to use a dark, dark, dark color. That dark color adds a lot to it, and you'll notice on other people's paintings pours, many painting pours, that nice bright colors look absolutely gorgeous, but they look even more pretty when they have something to pop against. And that's where those nice bright colors are. Okay, now I'm going to take a brush and move it around, in addition to a nice one of these, because I like it. And you know what? I'm going to add some more of that purple. I can see that the purple could easily get hung up again. And I'm going to bring it down into that area, roll it right off the page. Now I'm going to bring some of that white again down into here. I might have to come back and add some more of that. Okay, so it's kind of looking cool. I mean, so far so good. Now I'm painting on a wood board. Most people don't paint on wood. They paint on canvas or boards. But unless they're making a table or something, and then that looks cool. Now, first of all, I have to get the whole area filled in. It really needs to be filled in because, like we just talked about, there has to be that level surface in order for your cool effect to happen. I'm trying still, once again, not to touch the paint too much, but it has to go out throughout the whole thing. Roll my edges, come around here, get it all nice, clean. Now I haven't even touched it with a heat gun or with my butane, my little butane thing, which is nice. Okay, so I've got it nice and even, a nice even coat. I can roll it again. Come around here, I got my coffee cup. Very nice. Now, because I want that cleanness to come back, I'm going to add some more of that really pretty blue. I'm going to start right at the cup, roll it around. I'm going to add some of that darkness to get those colors to pop. This is just basically Thale blue with a little dot of black in it. Use black very sparingly. We use that super bright blue on the other side. Once again, it's great to use a lot of colors, but you probably already figured out from watching tons of other videos that if you use too many, it starts to look like cartoony, And so you're always running against that effect of how much is enough and how much is too much. And the only way to do that is to trust your eyes. Your eyes know what looks good and what doesn't. All the while, it may look good when you're pouring it in the cup. You can always look at colors of people who do that for a living, color technology, you know. Let them decide what looks good together. You just go grab what they got going on. And a great place to start with color technology is houses. People spend a ton of money looking at house colors. You know, you got to live in it for a while. You want to make sure you like it. And the best place to look for something like that would be San Francisco. If you ever look at the house colors in San Francisco, they're absolutely stunning. Okay, so now I'm going to open this. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to get some of those bubbles out of there. Get my Floetrol, a little bit of oil. I already got a nice mix. Okay, now I'm going to roll it again, just for fun, to see what the heck is going to happen here. Just going to roll it, let the paint roll just a little bit, not too much. Okay. And now I'm going to let that rest for a minute and add a little tiny bit, once again, still not knowing what the heck it's going to turn out like. I am going to add a little bit of a coffee cup like scenario. Now remember, when you're working with painting pours, you really don't know, because the paint is going to move. My hardest area is going to be getting in behind that cup. However, I do want to add it because, as perspective says, there's going to be some overlapping there. So I'm going to have to add that in a minute. But in the meantime, I'm going to turn that red in there, get it nice and level. As level as I can. I'm going to move it around still. Adding a little bit, I thought this yellow would be pretty in the background. I'm just going to pour some yellow on there and then move that around. Now, yellow's pretty, but I'm going to add a little orange to it just to spruce it up a bit. I'm going to add a dot of orange right in there and a little bit right in there. Once again, still not sure how we're going to work that out. I'm going to go back to my trusted tool, which is a see-through spoon. A see-through spoon is great for several reasons. Number one, you can see through it. Number two, it has a soft edge. It's even softer than a brush. You can hold it softer. You can balance it gently in your hand. Okay, so it's really early in the morning here. I got up super early for some reason. And this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to do it last night, but I was too tired. So I went to bed early, got up super early, and here I am. Okay, now I'm not so sure about this bounce of color from the blue to the yellow. While I like it a little, I don't like it a lot. So I'm going to play with it and see what happens. I'm going to get this background color going in there, that color going in there, let it roll off the edge. I need to definitely put this coffee cup coming around. Now I can play with this again once it starts to dry, which is just fine, and I probably will. I'm going to add a little bit of color to the coffee cup. I'm letting those colors go down in there, play with them a little tiny bit. Oops, look, a little purple got in there. That's all right. I'm going to use that purple as a highlight, shadowing. And then I might just go ahead and touch that purple and bring it down in here and see what happens. That's a nice thing about the Floetrol, is it does help the colors start to separate just a little bit. Okay, now it's coming down into the coffee cup, but I still have to get it all around in that area so that the whole canvas is covered. This is a board, but I call it a canvas or a page. That looks great coming right out of the cup, but because the paint is going to keep moving on me, I have to keep it moving around. Roll it off when I get extra ones. I want that coffee cup to still have a nice handle. Pull that color out of there and let that background color sort of kind of show through, bringing it around. I'm probably going to work on that cup some more once it dries, because the paint just wants to keep moving. That's okay. That's what we like about it. We like, the best part about it is that it moves, so it makes it seem like, oh, I made a mistake, not entirely my fault. You know, kind of like when you say, oh, the angels did it. It's not really my fault. I didn't mean to. And then all of a sudden you're not responsible completely. You don't have to be all like, oh my gosh, the whole world was depending on it. No, nobody was depending on it. We're just having some fun. It's always about the fun. If you're not having fun, then you need to hire someone to get you to have fun. Life is supposed to be fun. You know, it's like you struggle, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute. I thought life was supposed to be even a little fun, and it's no fun when you're not having even a little bit of fun. Oh, look, I'm going to swirl it around. Now, every time you touch the paint, you kind of want to clean your brush, mostly because I'm going to leave that. Mostly because you want the colors to blend a little, but not too much. You don't want to take away the punch of the color. Okay, now this gold looks like it's coming right out of the cup. Right out of, we'll call this Mary's cup. We'll say, you know what, Mary? Have a cup of tea. Have a cup of coffee. Come on, just wake up already. There we go. We'll get nice swirls through there, letting the paint roll right off the page. And now we're going to touch that red just a little bit more. Just a skosh. Not too much. Teeny tiny bits. And we're going to touch this down in here. We want to create a little bit of a shadow. However, I do know that this color, I want it to make a little bit of a grounding spot for my cup. And I know that these two colors are going to create a nice green. And that's okay. All right, now I'm going to let it rest for a minute, and I'm going to come back with that coffee cup and tighten up the edges, but not too much, because it actually looks better when you do too much. All right, I'll talk to you later.